Okay, this is a quick tutorial for those who like to walk in forests. It's one of the most beautiful things to do. It's healing, it's calming for the soul, it's exciting, and at least for me, it reveals more to me about myself than what I'm seeing. It's also one of the most beautiful ways to collect your thoughts, to think in a focused manner about something that might be your mind might be working with, and so on. But it's very important to do that, to do the walking and being in the forest consciously, because depending on which kind of forest you are in, there's always an element of danger. I've been in forests in India, in Africa, and now in America, and at least to date, I've lived to tell the tale. So here are some thoughts. First and foremost, when you walk in the forest, keep your head up and scan the path ahead of you. Some people have the habit of walking with their chin on their chest, looking at the ground. Now, yes, of course, look at the ground because you don't want to trip and fall. But if you're going to spend your time looking just at the ground, then you're wasting your time in the forest. So look up. You scan, look left and right, and do that constantly because you want to see what is ahead of you in time. I won't say before that thing sees you, because animals see you long, long before you can ever possibly see them. But it is good to be able to see them before you get up to them, both because you don't want to surprise them and you don't want to surprise yourself. A lot of wild animal attacks happen not because the animal has anything against you, but because the animal was suddenly surprised. And big animals will more than likely attack. Any animal will do one or two things, either run away or attack. And big animals many times choose to attack. So you don't want to surprise them. And of course, you don't want to surprise yourself, because there's nothing very pleasant about suddenly coming upon a bear or a bison or something. So keep your eyes open and scan the path and scan both sides of the path ahead of you. Number two, everything you see, identify it. Ask yourself the question, what is it I'm looking at? And say it, especially, what is it I'm looking at? Tell yourself, I'm looking at a stump of a tree. Look away and look back at it. Confirm that it is actually the stump of a tree and not a bear. They both look the same. And when you look away and look back, your eyes refocus and readjust, and you can identify what you're seeing very clearly. When you are looking, you see a branch moving. Ask yourself, why did the branch move? Look away, look back again. Is it just the breeze? Or did something move the branch? What is that thing? Now, branches will move when something which was sitting on the branch leaps off it or flies off it. And they will also move if something is moving on the ground which touched the branch and shook it. Now, if something was on the branch and it jumped off, leaped off it, or it flew off it, you may not see what leaped off and what flew off, but do try to see. So scan around the branch. look at the next branch. If something flew off the branch, maybe it was an eagle, um, it will usually perch on another branch, maybe higher up, but which is close by. I've seen serpent eagles do that. I've seen large owls do that, and so on. So you get a sight of a beautiful bird, a raptor in the forest, if you just do that. Then another thing, you might on occasion suddenly have a deer or a rabbit or something cross the path that you're walking on in a hurry. So you would have this deer leaping across the path or running across the path. By all means, note that. But the key question is not that. The key question is, why did the deer run? Why did this happen? Because maybe the reason the deer ran is the reason you should also run. Because the deer ran for a reason. Now, that reason could be you. The deer could have run because it saw you, but it could also have run because something else was chasing it. So, as soon as you see this deer run, look behind the deer and see what there is to see. So, use your eyes. Identify everything you see, give it a name, and then look away and look back to ensure that you gave it the right name. I have seen lions in Africa camouflaged in barren land with grass which is maybe 3-4 inches high. I would swear that you couldn't hide a rabbit in it, and you would have a lioness sitting in that. You wouldn't see it because the way her skin color, the grass, the way it breaks up the outline of her body and all of that, the way all that happens is so subtle, so beautiful, that you will be looking directly at that lioness and you won't see it. It's happened to me many times in Africa. In India once I was walking on a path in the Anamales in my tea estate, and I was looking directly at an elephant, a big bull elephant, standing in the middle of the road with evil in its heart, tusks and trunk and ears and all. And I was looking at it from a distance of maybe 70 yards or so, definitely less than 100 yards. And I didn't see it. Not because I'm blind, but because I didn't really... and the animal was so beautifully camouflaged with his outline broken up by the forest that was behind it. I just didn't see it until I did what I just told you, which is look away, look back. And when I looked away and looked back, I also asked myself this question, that when I first saw it, it looked to me like a boulder, a large boulder. And when I looked back at it, the question in my mind was, what is a boulder doing in the middle of the road? And of course, it's not a boulder, it's an elephant. I think I flew, because the next thing I know, I was on top of a 7-foot embankment with tea on it. And I know I can't jump 7 feet. And I also know that I didn't touch anything, and I was on that embankment. I didn't clamber. My clothes were not dirty. I was not, sort of scrambling over. And it was a stone-lined straight wall, 7 feet high, which was on the side of the road. Now, therefore, you can be looking at some very large animals, um, potentially highly dangerous. But if you suddenly come upon them, then that's not good news. So identify what you see, give it a name, look away, look back, and see if it's the right name. Use your ears. Same way. Identify each sound. Now, for that, it's very important to have a good idea of what jungle sounds are like. What does this thing sound like in the jungle? What does each sound mean? Is it the sound of a tree branch scraping against another tree branch or knocking against another tree branch? Or is it the sound of a tree branch, a dead branch breaking because somebody stepped on it? The calls of different birds and animals, especially the alarm calls. And then having an idea about why that animal would give that alarm call. In Indian jungles, for example, you would hear the alarm call of a barking deer, which sounds almost like a dog barking. Um, but the thing with barking deer is that barking deer will call they're very skittish, so they will call the alarm for practically everything, including things that they imagine. So it's a good sound to keep in mind as a heads up, but not necessarily a very reliable alarm call. But when you do hear it, don't ignore it. Keep that in the back of your mind as you keep walking. And then if it's followed up by the bark of a cheetal, a spotted deer, or called axis, which sounds like cook, cook, very loud, then more than likely that animal is looking at a predator. Because cheetal don't call just like that. They call if they see a predator. But the most reliable sound, which almost invariably is only for tigers, but then of course also for leopards, is the alarm call of a sambar, which goes like dhunk, thunk, and again very loud. You can't miss it. If you hear a sambar calling, then you are almost 100% certain that it's looking at a tiger while it's calling that. So knowing these alarm calls, what does it sound like? And again, different countries, different kinds of predators, different animals, they will have different sounds. So it's very important to know what the alarm call sounds like. In American forests, the large predators are bears, and bears are not necessarily predators in that sense, but they are potentially dangerous. Further north, the brown bears, grizzlies, and of course, obviously in the Arctic, the polar bear is a pure predator. But black bears are not predators, but they are dangerous. I mean, if you suddenly come upon a black bear, it can be dangerous. The other day, I was walking in Ashley Reservoir with my friend Malna Umar, and we went on a bend and we saw this huge black bear in prime condition. It's a beautiful coat shining in the sun, walking straight towards us. So we just stood absolutely still, didn't move, didn't say anything. The bear came to within maybe 20, 30 yards of us, and then took a detour and went away. And he looked like he was on a mission because he was walking very fast, coming straight at us. But obviously he wasn't interested in us. But because we didn't do anything stupid, like running or something like that, or yelling and screaming and disturbing it, we just stood there very firmly in one place. He was not alarmed, so he just moved away. But these things happen. So knowing the alarm calls, basically identifying each sound that you hear in the forest. The third thing is the nose, which we've almost never use. Knowing and recognizing smells. Some smells cannot possibly be mistaken. It's like for example, the uh, smell of cat urine. It's the same cat urine, like your house cat. It's a lion, tiger, leopard. They all smell the same, and they use the urine for that reason, for marking territory. So, you can, if you are in cat territory, you will smell that. Um, Looking at dung of animals and being able to identify if it's fresh or if it's not fresh. Again, not rocket science. You can do that quite easily. Um, Different kinds of smells of the animals themselves. For example, elephants. You can smell elephants a mile away, but you must know what that is, what that smells like. Bovine smells very easy. So if you are coming up near a herd of bison or something, you can smell them a long way away. So use eyes, ears, and nose consciously, and you will be safe. Enjoy yourself. As I said, one of the most beautiful things to do with your life is to spend it in forests. And all power to you. And thank you for listening. And let's hear your comments. Thank you.